about that preseason game, both Tyler Huntley and DTR got extended run, both through multiple double-digit pass attempts. Neither looked stellar, but is it really fair to evaluate what we saw from either quarterback, Huntley or DTR, because of what was happening in front of them and the chaos they were under from essentially the start of the game to the final snap? Is it fair to take any lessons learned or true evaluations from that?
I mean, Jason, you know me. I take really nothing from the preseason, so I thought they both looked pretty bad.
They did.
But do you factor in the bad offensive line into how you look at them? Or
there could be chaos in week one, too.
Right.
So
you got to deal with it.
Not that these are going to be your quarterbacks, but I've been high on DTR. I like him regardless of what happened. And that when last against the Vikings when he didn't look good.
Yeah.
Or the Packers when he did play well. I've always been high on him. We've talked about it on the show. I really thought he was starting to figure it out last year. I'm curious to see how they handle this quarterback thing because they're not going to keep all four, and I think all four bring a different value in one sense or another. And obviously in the third string battle between DTR and Huntley, one of them is probably going to be traded. It's a quarterback. You're going to be able to get value for him.
Yeah.
And that's probably why AB went out and signed Huntley, was knowing you could trade one of these guys, sort of like a Josh Dobbs last year, even though we ended up killing him at times for that trade. You
got a 7th-round pick. It's not like you get much. But.
Right, but you could get probably about the same, maybe a 6th for one of these guys now. But I like DTR. I hope he gets the job. I think Huntley brings value in that they need someone to quarterback sneak. Like it's not going to be Deshaun. Like
Can it be Jameis?
I don't know.
I mean, he's huge.
It might be. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just Jameis. But it's been Jacoby Brissett. It's been Harrison Bryant. Those guys aren't here.
Yeah.
It's not. I promise you, after the injuries, it's not going to be Deshaun. So who is it going to be? Is it going to be Jameis, or do you keep Tyler Huntley?
Why is he the only quarterback in the NFL that can't quarterback sneak?
He's not going to. It's not going to be.
There's
him.
other quarterbacks with injury problems that they quarterback.
They didn't want to do it with him when he had 2 healthy shoulders.
I get what you're saying, but they're not going to keep. I don't think they're going to keep Huntley just for that.
I don't know.
I don't think they're going to let. I'm not convinced that you can trade Tyler Huntley. We'll see. Nobody wanted him in the offseason. I get it now. You're looking at your backups.
Right.
And maybe there's some. DTR is not getting through waivers to the practice squad.
Absolutely not.
So, and he has shown at least some level. I'm not as high on him as you are, but I could see him being a long-time backup in the NFL. I don't think he's really a starter.
That's all I think he is.
Right. Like I could see him
starter.
having a Colt McCoy type of career.
Yes.
Like he plays a couple of games, gets a chance here or there, a Tyrod Taylor type of career.
Yeah.
And maybe he's better. Who the hell knows?
Maybe
but
in 4 years he's a starter for 1 year, grooming. Until the next guy comes.
And there's value in that.
Absolutely.
So if I'm the Browns, I can't let him go because I think if nothing else, like he's maybe my long-term backup for a couple of years. Maybe I trade him before his last year and I could get something really of value. Because if he plays here and there and shows something, like you could trade him for a higher pick at some point.
What did he sign? A 3-year deal last year? Like he's under contract for multiple years.
4 years. Most of the draft. I thought the draft pick contracts are all 4 except for the first-round picks.
I'll double check on DTR.
I think you're right. I think he's got 3 years of control left.
Right.
There's value in that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
But you're going to have to keep him on the roster. And last year they did not have 3 quarterbacks on the roster most of the time.
Yeah.
But they got away with having P.J. Walker on the practice squad.
Flacco was on the practice squad for a couple weeks.
But you can't do that this year.
Right.
So they're going to have 3 quarterbacks on the regular roster. I think they're either going to have to cut Huntley and hope he gets to the practice squad, or
that's not going to happen.
Probably not. But maybe you can trade him for a 7th-round pick or something like that. We'll see. But to me, I'd be stunned if they let DTR go for Tyler Huntley.
Based on how they've played in camp, I would agree with that. I think DTR's had a better camp. I think he can make all the throws.
And he showed you a little last year when he played in real games.
Yeah. It was a 4-year deal, by the way.
Yeah. All right, so he's got 3 years left.
Yeah.
There's a lot of value in that.
Yeah,
a quarterback under contract for 3 years making
cheap.
nothing. Yeah.
Right. Because, you figure Jameis, if Deshaun Watson plays well this year and stays healthy, then Jameis could just be a 1-year thing. And DTR could be the backup next year.
He was brought here to be the long-term backup.
Yeah, right.
Like that was the whole goal of using a fifth round pick on him.
That's right. And to develop him.
And I don't think what has he shown that tells you he can't do that?
No.
Now, the injuries are a real thing with him. He's
Sure,
small.
he's not big, yeah.
He played very little last year, and he got 2 significant injuries in a short amount of time. Now, is that a fluke, or is that just inevitable and more of that is to come? I guess that's what they're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And if they feel like he can't stay healthy, maybe you move on from him. But other than that, I don't know what he's done to make you think he can't be that guy.
No, absolutely not. I agree with you. I do think I am a little surprised that nobody signed Tyler Huntley to be their third quarterback.
Yeah,
it was weird. And I think the Browns signed him at the time saying, hey, we don't know when Deshaun's going to be ready to play. And, if we had to start the season with Deshaun on the PUP list or something like that, he'll be our third quarterback. But at this point, the more I think about it, you're probably right. And Mike has said this too. They probably will be able to trade him. But ultimately, there's no reason to keep Tyler Huntley over DTR in my mind.
If you don't want Jameis as the sneaker, he's the sneaker. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds crazy.
But I think
But how many times have you seen Brissett or Bryant? It's an important role.
I would think that Jameis would be a good sneaker. I don't know that that's the
I don't
case.
know. I don't know enough.
I'm trying to look up the stats on QB sneak
It's hard
conversion
to
rates,
find that.
but it's because they're just rushing attempts. It gets clogged in. So keep going. I'm gonna try to look.
I mean, Jameis is so big. You think he'd be tough to stop. But sometimes those big, bulky quarterbacks can be a little slow on that play.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's an important part of
what they do. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it sounds silly. In August, you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
In October and November, when it's 4th and 1.
No, it's important.
It's an important role.
It's important. Again,
I mean, we had Mary Kay on. Mary Kay was talking about using Huntley in this unique, dynamic way.
She called him Deebo Samuel.
Being able to do different things with him.
Deebo Samuel?
Yeah, I think that was probably
a
little bit of a reach.
Wait, so does she think they're going to keep 4 quarterbacks?
No, but she just thinks that they should keep Huntley and get creative with him. Find a creative way to just get the ball in his hands and find things to do with him. So
well, last year we were calling Elijah Moore Deebo Samuel, people were, and that didn't work out. But maybe it'll work out with Tyler Huntley. I don't know. Mike, any luck getting those numbers? It's probably really hard to find pure sneaks.
Yeah, because they all get lumped into rushes. I found
don't worry about
one.
What do you got? Let's see if we can find anything. Please don't call. Hello? Please don't call me. I'm on the air right now, folks. All right. We did.
Yeah, I can't find anything
No luck?
definitive as opposed to just his rushing average, rush attempts. I can't sort it to 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 specifically that are run as sneak plays. So
Right.
we're just going to have to take a guess. Jameis is a big dude, so we'll see what happens. Is that it on the quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Move on?
Yes.